जय राधा वृंदावन बिहारी, राधा वृंदावन बिहारी, श्री राधे। जय राधा मदन मोहन ललिता देवी, राधा मदन मोहन ललिता देवी। जय गिरि गोवर्धन, गिरि गोवर्धन, गिरि गोवर्धन, जय गिरि गोवर्धन। जय वृंदावन धाम, वृंदावन धाम, वृंदावन धाम, जय वृंदावन धाम। जय गौरनिताय, 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 जय गौरनिताय। जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Canto 7, Chapter 9 of Srimad Bhagavatam, text number 16. त्रस्तोऽस्म्यहं कृपणवत्सलदुस्सहोग्र। त्रस्तोऽस्म्यहं कृपणवत्सलदुस्सहोग्र। संसारचक्रकदनाद्ग्रसतां प्रणीतः। संसारचक्रकदनाद्ग्रसतां प्रणीतः। बद्धस्वकर्मभिरुशतमत्यङ्घ्रिमूलम्। बद्धस्वकर्मभिरुशतमत्यङ्घ्रिमूलम्। प्रीतोपवर्गशरणं हवसे कदा नु। प्रीतोपवर्गशरणं हवसे कदा नु। त्रस्तोऽस्म्यहं कृपणवत्सलदुस्सहोग्र। संसारचक्रकदनाद्ग्रसतां प्रणीता। बद्धस्वकर्मभिरुशतमत्यङ्घ्रिमूलम्। प्रीतोपवर्गशरणं ह्यवसे कदा नु। And you would like to repeat? त्रस्तोऽस्म्यहं कृपणवत्सलदुस्सहोग्रा संसारचक्रकदनाद्ग्रसताम् Would like to repeat, please? त्रस्तोऽस्म्यहं कृपणवत्सलदुस्सहोग्रा संसारचक्रकदनाद्ग्रसतां प्रणीता स्वकर्मविरुशतम् Mataji. त्रस्तोऽस्म्यहं कृपणवत्सलदुस्सहोग्रा संसारचक्रकदनाद्ग्रसतां प्रणीता बद्धस्वकर्मविरुशत Word to word translation. Trastaha, frightened. Asmi, am. Aham, I. Kripanavatsala, O my Lord, who are so kind to the fallen souls, who have no spiritual knowledge. Dussaha, intolerable. Ugra, ferocious. Samsara chakra, of the cycle of birth and death. Kadana, from such a miserable condition. Grasatam, among other conditioned souls, who devour one another. Pranitaha, being thrown. Baddhaha, bound. Swakarmavihi, the course by the reactions of my own activities. Ushatama, O great insurmountable. Te, your. Angrimolam, to the soles of the lotus feet. Pritaha, being pleased with me. Apavarga sharanam, which are the shelter meant for liberation from this horrible condition of material existence. Where you say, you will call me. Kada, when. No, indeed. Translation by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charan Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation: O most powerful, insurmountable Lord, who are kind to the fallen souls, I have been put into the association of demons as a result of my activities. And therefore, I am very much afraid of my condition of life within this material world. When will that moment come when you will call me to the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the ultimate goal for liberation from conditioned life? purport. Being in the material world is certainly miserable, but certainly when one is put into the association of asuras or atheistic men, it is intolerably so. One may ask why the living entity is put into this material world. Indeed, sometimes foolish people deride the Lord for having put them here. Actually, everyone is put into conditional life according to his karma. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj, representing all the other conditioned souls, admits that he was put into life among the asuras because of the results of his karma. The Lord is known as Kripana Vatsala because he is extremely kind to the conditioned souls. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, therefore, the Lord appears whenever there are discrepancies in the execution of religious principles. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata tadatmanam srijamyaham. The Lord is extremely anxious to deliver the conditioned souls, and therefore he instructs all of us to return home back to Godhead. Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam braja. Thus, Prahlad Maharaj expected that the Lord, by his kindness, would call him again to the shelter of his lotus feet. In the other words, everyone should be eager to return home back to Godhead, taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, and thus being fully trained in Krishna consciousness. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं गदामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चना गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयति गिरिं Yatkripat Vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram Paramanandamatam. Hare Krishna. Seeking blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas here, would like to repeat the words of Srimad Bhagavatam, the purports from Srila Prabhupada. And when I was going through this episode of Prahlad Maharaj being praying to Narsingadev, each and every word which Prabhupada is highlighting here is practically was like instruction personally for me, wherein day in and day out we practice our spirituality. It's like when it comes to prayers, practically every day we spend more than 4 to 5 hours in praying to the Lord. Right from Mangalarti, then Chikshastakam, then Tulsi Arti, It's like minute by minute there is a prayer to the Lord. And those prayers are of different varieties. Maybe, some are praying intensely to the Lord to please engage me in the service of Vaishnavas, engage me in the service of the deities, engage me in the service of, in the mood of a servant, of a servant, of a servant. So here in today's verse in Canto 7, chapter 9 and text 16, I'll repeat the translation. Let's hear this translation attentively. O most powerful, insurmountable Lord. Prahlad Maharaj is praying to Narsingadev, who are kind to the fallen souls. I have been put into the ocean of demons as a result of my activities. And therefore, I am very much afraid of my condition of life within this material world. When will that moment come when you will call me to the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the ultimate goal for liberation from conditional life? So here Prahlad Maharaj is saying, he's addressing the Lord as Kripana Vatsala. What is the meaning of Kripana Vatsala? That is Trastotyam. You can see in the first line. Kripana Vatsala. Kripana Vatsala means who is kind to the fallen souls. Specifically here it is mentioned that fallen soul means who is the one who is fallen soul? Who has no spiritual knowledge specifically. So here we can see that Prahlad Maharaj is expressing his humility and Lord Narsingadev is instructing to all of us via Prahlad Maharaj. Definitely Prahlad Maharaj is not fallen, but he is expressing prayers and instructing to all of us that how the Lord is so merciful, Kripana Vatsala, he can be merciful even to the most fallen also. That is the kindness of the Lord towards the conditioned souls. In Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto also one episode comes where Avanti Brahmana, after being, you can say, in this, after being troubled via this material world, left, right, center, he was expressing, he was sharing that who is the cause of my misery. Sometimes when we are in trouble, there is often cause that, yes, like in student life, sometimes we may score less marks when, then we may say that, oh, I was sick, that is the reason I scored less. Sometimes we may say, no, no, my friend didn't help me to solve my problem. That is the reason I scored less. So, similarly, at different stages of life, we may point out the reason for the problem to somebody else. But here Prahlad Maharaj is saying, I have been put into the association of the demons as a result of my activities. One of the greatest lesson is one need to be responsible towards ourselves. 11th canto Avanti Brahmana mentions, नायम देहो में सुख दुख हेतु न देवतात्मा गृह कर्म काला मनः परम कारणमामनन्ति. This mind is a cause of my misery. What is a misery? Being trapped into this ocean of birth and death. And that's how Prabhupada is mentioning here very beautifully. You can see the last two lines of this purport. It mentions, two things is very necessary. First is the Kripana Vatsala, wherein the Lord is very eager to take us back. The Lord is very eager to shower His mercy. So then what is needed from our side? From our side, eagerness is necessary. Everyone should be eager to return home back to Godhead. First of all, one should be made aware that the original home is the Golok of Vrindavan Dham. But out of ignorance, this living entity has considered that this material world is his home. So Prabhupada is saying that the Lord is eager to take us back. But what is needed from our side? Everyone should be eager to return home back to Godhead. How? Taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord and thus being fully trained in Krishna consciousness. So training is necessary. So one thing is eagerness. How that eagerness will come? When we express in front of the Lord. Here, how, Prahlad Maharaj is expressing his prayers by addressing the word as Kripana Vatsala. You are so kind. And at the same time, he's expressing Prito Apavarga Sharanam Hyase Kadano. And definitely you will call me towards your lotus feet. That means he's expressing his eagerness that yes, I want shelter of your lotus feet. But out of ignorance, this soul who has taken shelter of the so-called, like the temporary world, out of prakriti kriyamanani, under the three modes, mode of goodness, passion and ignorance, prakrite kriyamanani gune karmani sharvasah ahankara vimodatma kartaham iti manyate. Under the three mode of ignorance, Lord Krishna says, this jiva is considering that everything, who is doing? I am doing. And that's how he gets trapped into the different modes. And that's how he gets trapped into sometimes joy, sometimes sorrow. Hiranyakashipu was a number one politician. Politicians of this material world, so-called, this generation material world cannot match Hiranyakashipu's power. Can anyone take the throne of Indra? Max to max, one can become a member of parliament or max to max a PM or a CM or, of a particular country. But he was so powerful that by the blink of his eyebrow, Indra's seat would fall. He was having all kind of facilities, all kind of abilities. He was all powerful. Mm. But he was dissatisfied because of a small 5-year-old child. Prabhupada explains. mm, Prabhupada explains in purports that the only reason was he was having so much. Everything was in abundance. But the one thing was, the motive was selfish motive. He himself was the center. Sense enjoyment was the center. And that could literally destroy everything. Prahlad Maharaj was not having any power, any strength, any facility. Literally, he was having nothing. But still, when when Hiranyakashipu was delivered, to pacify to pacify Lord Narsingadev, literally everyone was fearful. Brahmaji was fearful. Mother Lakshmi was fearful. The consort of the Lord was fearful. But a small boy could pacify the Lord. And in yesterday's verse, how His Grace Braj Bihari Prabhu has nicely mentioned that the Prahlad Maharaj is saying that I am not fearful. I am fearful of the material world. And in this verse, he is saying that, O Lord, you are Kripana Vatsala. When Prahlad Maharaj was in the womb of Mother Kayadhu, we have heard that, Indra was fearful, that episode when he was saying that, yes, since his father is a demon, so the son would be a double demon. So that's where Narad Muni interfered. Narad Muni interfered, and their mother Kayadhu prayed to Narad Muni that, please protect my Lord. Please protect my son. And there Narad Muni said, yes, your son will be protected. And Prabhupada mentions in the purports, Prahlad Maharaj was protected throughout. More than Prahlad Maharaj's strength was because of Narad Muni. That's how the blessings and the prayers of a spiritual master is very important. Many a times we may function in big tasks, but all the success which we are getting in devotional service, there is no doubt sent percent only because of blessing of a spiritual master and the Vaishnavas. Arjuna was successful because of the presence of Krishna. When Krishna left, the same Gandiva which defeated each and every one, thousands and thousands of soldiers, the same Gandiva could not function. So here we can see that how the Vaishnava's blessings and spiritual masters' blessings are very important. At the same time, our own desire, our own aspirations are also there. So here Prabhupada is saying that one should be trained in Krishna consciousness. And training is very important for all of us at different levels. Very beautifully, Govardhan Eco Village has, the training facility for all kind of groups, right from the childhood. Wherein in this Govardhan English medium school, where very nicely His Grace Adikeshwar Prabhu and Prem Lila Mataji are training those kids very nicely, like Prahlad Maharaj. And then we have Bhakti Vedanta Vidyapit Research Center, where Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, and all these literatures are being trained nicely. At the same time, in our day-to-day culture, in our behavior, we are being trained in the association of Vaishnavas. Moment by moment, we are so fortunate that we are getting this training by default, or else outside world is so difficult. Everyone is like, behind one another, to pull one another, uh, to defeat one another. In one of the bhajan, it's mentioned, the Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the form of a devotee, appeared to train the conditioned souls. So how this training is important? So many scriptures acharyas have written for what? To train us. So that we get trained in different kind of services. How much effort is being put to transform the desire of a conditioned soul, we can see here. So there are 6 stages of Sharanagati, which Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes. And these 6 steps are Dainya Atmanivedana, Gotruptve Varana, Avasya Rakshibe Krishna, Vishwasa Palana, Bhakti Anukula Karya, Karira Svikara, Bhakti Pratikula Karya, Varjana Angikara. What are the 6 steps? Number 1, Dainya. Dainya is humility, which in Hindi we call as Namrata. Humility is very important. Gajendra expresses humility. Gajendra was so powerful. He was like a king. But the moment after striving so much hard for 1000 years, he could say that Namo Namaste Akhila Karanaya Nishkaranaya Adbhuta Karanaya Sarvagamamnaya Namo Pavargaya Parayana. He could pray that, oh my Lord, you are the cause of all causes. Whatever strength I am getting, as soon as I get up early in the morning, the moment I open my eyes, I could see something that is only because of you. So moment by moment, this humility is very much needed. Whenever we are reading something, that strength to read, to vibrate the tongue is also the strength is given by the Lord. To read, to pronounce, to remember, to repeat. So number 1 is humility, that is Dainya. Second, Atma Nivedana. Atma Nivedanam is like Bali Maharaj. Sarvasva Tomar Charane Sampiya. Keeping Krishna at the center of all our activities. Third is Gotruptve Varan. Considering Krishna to be all in all. Like in Mukund Mala Stotra, Kulashekar Alvar prays. हे गोपालक हे कृपा जलनिधे हे सिंधु कन्यापते. Then in last line he says, Janami natvam vina. Oh my Lord, I don't know anyone, anybody other than you. Number 4, Abhasya Rakshive Krishna. Abhasya Rakshive Krishna means, when I'm saying that, Krishna, you are the only one, we say, Tomeva Mata, Pita, Tomeva Bandhu, Considering Krishna as all in all everything. And then the fourth is Avasya Rakshive Krishna. Here was Prahlad Maharaj is praying that I am sure that you will call me. Krishna will protect me at all the times. And fifth is, what is needed from our side? Bhakti Anukula Karya. Our 24 hours, all our activities should be molded in such a way that it should be favorable towards devotional service. Preferably under the 64 angas, the 64 limbs of devotional service, which is mentioned in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu by Srila Rupa Goswami. And last, number 6 is Bhakti Pratikula Karya Varjana Angikar. What is that? That activities which are unfavorable should be rejected, or rather should be postponed. Sometimes we don't have ability to reject, but we can postpone it. And that's how, when we train ourselves in this, then in that bhajan, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, when our prayer has all the 6 components, Shadavanga Sharanagati Hoi Bejahara Tahara Prarthana Shune Srinanda Kumara. He says, any prarthana, any prayer which has the 6 components, Tahara Prarthana Shune Sri Nanda Kumar, that Krishna, that Nanda Kumar will listen to the prayer only when these 6 components is there. How we are so fortunate that our prayers are rest assured when we have this, when we include these 6 components. And His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj has very wonderfully, prayed. We can say he has literally expressed his begging in the form of those prayers in the beggar series. And I was going through one of the article which His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj has mentioned in this beggar series. I'll just read that. Basically, when it comes to training, specifically training of our mind. So His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, when he was undergoing at the last stage of melanoma cancer, and at that stage he has written these prayers. So Maharaj was writing in one of the article that cancer is a vicious disease that is hijacking and kidnapping millions of bodies. Many times when we are sick, or when our health is not good, often our practice of devotional service goes low, and we have lot of excuses. But here Maharaj is saying that Maharaj is going through that disease which is a extreme most suffering. Cancer is a vicious disease that is hijacking and kidnapping millions of bodies. The cancer is alive and very aggressive. It gets stronger and multiplies in a person's body until bringing on a painful death. Cancer seems to particularly manifest due to malnutrition, dehydration, and stress. These enemies first hijack, kidnap, and possess the body, later inviting all kind of unwanted guests. Melanoma has occupied my own body, but this cancer demon will lose. What? This cancer demon will be defeated from my body, for my body has been offered to the Lord. For my body has been offered to the Lord. Therefore, the Lord will eventually fully claim the body by allowing the cancer to be chased out, or will take me, the soul, out of this sabotaged and diseased shell. It is like in the mood, Ashlishyava padartam pinastumam adarshanamam karotuva yatha tathava vidadhatu lampato. The Lord may embrace me or he may kick me out. So either conclusion is ultimately glorious. Either the Lord may drive out cancer or he may keep me in diseased condition. Either of the conclusion is ultimately glorious, because the real owner will reclaim his property. Thinking of this gives me great solace. Let us pray to have our bodies and consciousness. Maharaj is mentioning both, the body and consciousness, both fully taken over by the divine influences. Fully taken over by the divine influences, that this is a great boon and blessing. So when it comes to physical body, our physical body should be engaged in physical services for the mission of Srila Prabhupada. And when it comes to consciousness, the mood should be in the mood of a servant of a servant. And when we think of how much we are blessed in this, when Prahlad Maharaj is praying that I have been put in the association of the demons. Imagine when we have been put in the association of the demons. I doubt whether I would have been able to survive or not. I don't know. But by the great fortune and by the causeless mercy of the Vaishnavas, by all their preaching efforts, somehow or the rather we have been put in this most safest position in the hands of Vaishnavas. And we have got this great opportunity of being trained. And let's express our gratitude towards Srila Prabhupada, who has taken so much pain at the age of 70. Literally, in a matter of 10 years, more than 12 times he traveled across the globe to give us this treasure, to give us this wealth of Krishna consciousness. And he has, and this boat is so safe, and it is so big, and it is so long, that it is for the next 10,000 years, whoever will take shelter of this boat, They can get trained, number one. And second thing, they can get opportunity. They have this opportunity of going back home, back to Godhead. So today we discussed in this verse number 16 of chapter 9 of 7th canto how Prahlad Maharaj is expressing his prayers and he's addressing Krishna, he's addressing Narsingadev as Kripana Vatsala. That the Lord is kind towards the fallen souls. And then Prabhupada mentions here in the purport that the Lord is appearing in every yuga, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. So the Lord is kind towards the fallen souls at all the time. That is why he is appearing again and again. So the Lord is doing his part. We may think that the Lord is having so much unlimited souls, so the Lord may forget us. No, the Lord is the Lord is attentive and he is personally with each and every one of us. And then later we discussed how Hiranyakashipu, although he was so much powerful, but still everything failed because of one reason, because of selfish motive. And Prahlad Maharaj, although apparently he was a small boy, but still he could please Lord Narsingadev. And then later we discussed how the training is important for all of us. We discussed the 6 stages of Sharanagati, which is mentioned by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Number 1 is Dainya, which is humility. Atma Nivedanam, considering, keeping Krishna as the center of all our activities. Third, Gotrupti Varan, Krishna to be the life and soul, all in one of all of our activities. Fourth is Avashya Rakshibe Krishna, that is, definitely Krishna will protect me at all the times. Fifth is performing favorable devotional service, accepting favorable activities which are in line with devotional service. And sixth is rejecting unfavorable activities. And that's how, when we get fully trained, and then we discussed how, His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj prayed intensely in one of the article wherein, when he was going through the last stages of melanoma cancer, he was begging to the Lord, please hijack, please hijack my body and my consciousness both, in the mood of Ashlishyava Padartam Pinastumam. My Lord, whether you accept me or whether you reject me, you are my only hope. And then at last, we discussed of our fortune of being blessed with the causeless mercy of Srila Prabhupada by getting connected to International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and what we can repay back. We can repay back by minute expressing a gratitude towards Srila Prabhupada, and with full determination that we will not even look back, we will not leave, we will not think of even moving out of this movement even for a second. And with full focus and with full determination, assisting spiritual master, assisting senior Vaishnavas in the mood of servant of a servant. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. If anyone have any comments, feedbacks, Please share. Or if kids have any questions, they can ask. हरे कृष्ण। श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, जय गौर प्रेमानंदे।